So I'm often asked about gold bars over gold sovereigns and why I don't have so many of them, why I don't tend to stack them, why I would buy coins instead. And anyway, I've picked up this, which is a 20-gram gold bar. This is from the Royal Mint, and it is 4/9 fine, pure gold. Sorry, it's 4/9 fine, pure gold, and comes in this lovely little assay. A little bit of a presentation in the sleeve here. Obviously slides in there nicely. So nice little presentation. Now, whether you love elephants or you just have an enormous trunk, this is perhaps one of the bars for you. So in terms of gold bars, I think the purpose of gold bars for me is more to get low premium gold. So the idea behind the bars is that the minting process is easier, you therefore don't have as much manufacturing costs and things like that. When you get onto bars like this though, they do still have that minted effect, that minted finish to get the lovely design on, and therefore similar to coins, I imagine that the manufacturing process isn't as straightforward as perhaps a cast bar. So the good thing about them, you can obviously get beautiful designs, and there are many different designs to choose from. Or if you're not really bothered about the designs, you can just simply go for, whatever is the cheapest, the lowest premium. Now, a lot of people don't like bars because they're heavily faked, and some bars are sort of renowned for it. Now, you can kind of tell from the thickness of the bar sometimes whether or not they are what they are meant to be. For example, some will be just way too thick. The problem though, if they're in this assay, you can't really weigh them because obviously you've got the assay card as well. The Sigma testers will test through here. I'm not sure if an XRF gun would, but like I say, I'm confident on the source of this one, being obviously the Royal Mint and all that. It's not something I'm worried about, but if you're buying just plain bars that are, maybe Metalor or some of the other brands that perhaps haven't got these such intricate designs, even if they have, if they're just like loose, they could still be faked in the assay card. If someone can fake a gold bar, they can fake an assay card as well. So you've still got to be, wary when you're buying things like this, as you would with coins. Sovereigns are probably one of the most heavily faked coins, but there are still plenty of lovely examples around, and you can, of course, buy them, safely and securely. So in terms of why I buy coins over bars typically, even though bars can sometimes be slightly lower premium, they're not always, and especially at the moment, the premiums we're seeing in the coin market, we're not really seeing any premiums when people are trying to sell and offload some of their collection or their stack. They're having to basically do it at sub-spot, even with postage. So whilst the price of gold has gone up a lot, the fiat price, it means that they're still in the green in that sense. If you've bought gold at a premium of like 5, 6, even up to 10% or more, and now you're selling it at closer to spot, it's like eating away at the profits that you could have had. So in terms of stacking, this is probably not something I would stack if I was in a different country that perhaps didn't favour the gold sovereign, the gold Britannias as much. So for example, in the UK, the sovereigns and the Britannias and a few other coins by the Royal Mint have capital gains tax exemption status, as I record the video anyway. So if you are selling gold and making a profit in fiat terms, you won't have to pay tax on those gains, whereas a bar is not classed as a legal tender. I believe that is the part of the criteria. So you would therefore have to pay some capital gains on your gain, basically. We do have an allowance in the UK. It's very small, and if you're trading in other asset classes as well, you'll probably blow through it fairly quickly. But if you're only selling a little bit of gold and you know other assets, then maybe you'd not be too worried, and you could use that bit of allowance. But for something like this, it is more of a collector's thing. Probably make a good gift. I know it's not every day you gift 20 grams of gold somewhere or to someone, but it is probably more the market that these are aimed at. Something you're going to store and savour and keep rather than stack a lot of. But I say with gold bars, they aren't as favourable in the UK at least. Some countries, however, Canada, Australia, I believe there is some coins like the Sovereign and the Krugerrand, for example, that aren't pure gold. So, 22 carat coins aren't treated as favourably as a 4/9 fine gold coin or bar would be. So it's going to depend a little bit on your area, and certain areas it is going to be better to have 4/9 fine gold than something like a Sovereign. So worth considering where you are. In terms of, like I say, bars like this, probably not something I would stack a lot of. Royal Mint do make some lovely bars, and the Britannia bar, for example, the Una and the Lion bar, very, very nice bars. I've had the 1 ounce Britannia bar you've seen on the channel before, if you dig back a while. Don't know if I've had a 20 gram bar before. I've had some PAMP 10 grams and things like that. But ultimately, like I say, I do tend to stack the Sovereigns and Britannias and similar coins. So a lovely bar, and like I say, if it is something you're more interested in collecting, or perhaps as a nice gift to someone who would appreciate it, then you could consider that. But ultimately for stacking, I think Sovereigns, Britannias, etc. are the way forward for us in the UK. And if you're in, like I say, another country, then check out your rules. Perhaps 4/9 fine gold is preferable to things like Sovereigns. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know what you think of the bar. Have you got one? Would you buy one? And look forward to talking to you in the comments. Give you one last little look of that before we put him away.